the addresses of those 100 people who registered, and we go out tonight and track them down.
It's too cold. It's too cold.
I'm really delighted to open this evening's Women's Rights and Achievements reception as part of our celebration of International Women's Day. The first International Women's Day was way back in 1911, and whilst much progress has been made in the 105 years that have followed, there's still a lot to be done. And no offence to any of the gentlemen here, and you're all very welcome, but I have to say, I've always said that we'll have true equality when women can be as mediocre as some of the men, because they get away with blue murder. Now, in the Turkish elections in June last year, a record number of 96 women from across all parties were elected to Parliament, and although that number went down, I think, to 77 in the November snap election,
81.
It was still 81. I stand corrected. It was still an achievement in terms of women's representation. And I have to say, you know, when I was elected in 1997, the number of women MPs doubled overnight to 120. And I'm very proud that of that 120, 101 were Labour women MPs. And I'm as proud then as I am today that Labour still has more women MPs than all the other parties put together. But there's a lot more work to be done. And the theme for this year's International Women's Day is gender parity, 50-50 by 2030. Now, in many areas of life, whether you're in the UK, Turkey or anywhere else, this target can seem a long way away from our day-to-day experience. Indeed, there are many women in Turkey who may feel that gender equality is getting further away than closer. As in this country, where 2 women every week die as a result of domestic violence, there are huge concerns that violence against women in Turkey is increasing, with 14 times as many women murdered in 2010 than in 2003. I can't tell you the latest figures because they're no longer published. In the last 10 years, women's employment in Turkey has dropped from 35% to 25%, according to the Women's Entrepreneurs Association of Turkey. And still less than 1 woman in 10 has the university education that makes a huge difference to their pay and job opportunities. But the good news is this: more people, and especially women, are speaking up for women's rights. Groups like Kedem are reaching thousands of women to make sure their voices are heard, and others like Khadija in Istanbul have women entrepreneurs helping other women to become businesswomen with training and advice. I sometimes think when we are striving for equality, humour has got a role to play as well, as was the case when in 2014 the Deputy Prime Minister of Turkey said women should not laugh in public. Well, and I have to say, look, Turkey hasn't got more than its fair share of silly men. We've got a few here as well. But I have to say, it led to a massive social media storm of laughter and jokes from Turkish women and men, and the only person who wasn't laughing at the end of that was the Deputy Prime Minister of Turkey. In the senior ranks of Turkish business, women hold a quarter of board seats in the biggest companies, and that's very similar to here in the UK. And I understand, and this was reported in the Financial Times, that women managers actually out-earn their male counterparts. So maybe we have to have a look at that as well, because we've got a massive earning gap here in the UK between women and men in similar jobs. The number of female graduates in Turkey has more than doubled since 2004. And as of September 2015, Turkish women no longer have to take their husband's name after getting married. Now, I have to let my husband Phil Cole know that, because he is more often known as Mr. Flint. I have to say on that though, I do sometimes use my husband's name, Mrs. Cole, when I'm trying to get something done, because when I'm sort of hassling and bartering to get a deal, sometimes it's easy to do that when people don't know you're a member of Parliament. So it comes in handy sometimes having another surname to use. Here in the UK, Ceftus ensures that the contribution of the Turkish-speaking communities is recognised as well as the important links it provides between the UK and Turkey. And it's really fitting tonight, with International Women's Day just around the corner, that we can come together to celebrate the contributions and achievements of women from Turkish, Turkish Cypriot and Kurdish communities here in the UK. We can celebrate authors, prominent barristers, celebrity chefs, successful restaurateurs, academics, artists, businesswomen, and even a baroness in the House of Lords too. And in the 4 years since its launch, I think Ceftus has managed to do a fantastic job in bringing people together from a range of backgrounds, industries and political allegiances to build stronger links between the UK and Turkey. But tonight it's about putting women at the heart of its agenda. And we too can have important conversations, not only about how we ensure that we support our sisters in Turkey, but also how we can come together as sisters here in the UK to promote women and equal rights. For me, equality is never a job done. There's always more work, and together I think we can make a difference. Thank you.